Uzbekistan, a country in Central Asia with a rich cultural history. Since Uzbekistan elected a new president in 2016, it has opened its doors and warmly welcomed tourists and visitors.
Uzbekistan is very, very beautiful, and I love tourists.
Uzbekistan's history has been dominated by its place on the Silk Road, the ancient connection between East and West. This part is preserved in its historic cities Tashkent, Bukhara, Khiva, and of course the glamorous Samarkand.
When you will come here, you will feel yourself like you are in the past. You are in a past time, just walking and watching around that beautiful buildings.
It has gold. There are a lot of beautiful rooms.
Tourists can visit Samarkand's impressive Registan complex of ancient mosques and madrasas, the St. Peter's Square of Central Asia. Uzbekistan was previously formed by the Khanates of Khiva and Kokand and the Emirate of Bukhara. For more than 100 years between 1868 and 1991, the country was part of the Russian Empire and the Soviet Union. In the past 28 years, Uzbekistan has rejuvenated its proud culture, including its unique arts, dance and cuisine, and now looks to share its passions with the world. Today, Uzbekistan has not only opened itself up to tourists. Since 2016, the national government has implemented reforms to build transparency with citizens, helping ensure their interests and human rights are effectively met. In this reportage, we visited courts in the Sirdarya, Jizak, Bukhara and Samarkand regions of Uzbekistan to review the improvements that have been made. The greater court accessibility that Uzbekistan citizens now benefit has been the result of the eSud electronic justice system's introduction, implemented by the Supreme Court of Uzbekistan with support from UNDP and USAID. The eSud system has improved the accessibility, efficiency and transparency of national courts. The support it provides helps ensure citizens can access justice in a fast and effective way, while also minimizing the pressure placed on judges.
This project is a fundamental part of Uzbekistan's reform process, including in the government and justice sector, moving away from a system in which the courts function as a means of governing Uzbekistan's population to a system where the courts function as a tool that ensures that the rights and interests of Uzbekistan's citizens are met by the public authorities.
At several administrative and civil courts, the advantages of the eSud system and other improvements made were explained to local and international journalists. One judge explained that thanks to eSud, courts are now able to work better in directly serving the public needs.
Certainly not all people may have the money to hire the defense lawyer.
U yerda iqtisod bo'yicha 100 dan ortiq, fuqaroda 150 dan ortiq da'vo ariza nusxalari keltirilgan.
And also you can see hundreds and hundreds of copies of the lawsuits submitted by individuals.
U yuqori malakali yuristlar tomonidan yozilgan.
These lawsuits are usually written by qualified lawyers.
Siz undan istagan fuqaro olib foydalanishi mumkin.
So the other individual citizens can actually download those sample lawsuits which can they use for their own papers.
eSud tizimi tarmog'i yo'lga qo'yilgandan keyin bizda ancha yaxshi o'zgarish.
After introduction of eSud, it saved a lot of our time because eSud has a lot of templates and samples and instructions, and using these templates and instructions we could faster solve the issues.
For visitors who might find eSud's digital format difficult to use, staff are on hand to provide assistance.
I was actually pleasantly surprised at the work that's being done to develop the court system and to reform it. I found that the docketing system and the access system, the eSud system, is an excellent system. It looks to be very user-friendly, and I do think they are working very hard to promote access to court. And I think that that is an incredible reform.
Another advantage of eSud is that it helps increase the transparency of decisions made by courts. A maximum possible amount of legal information can now be offered to Uzbekistan's people, including that which would have been impossible to retrieve only a few years before.
He is a chairperson on the Bukhara Regional Administrative Cases Court. Welcome to our district court. Mr. Donyar is acting chair on administrative cases of this district.
If you have issues registering your land, or if there's problems with the utilities in your village, you now have the mechanism to go to the government and say this is a problem that needs to be resolved, and go through legal channels in order to find a solution.
So the question emerges, what kind of cases they are handling? Administrative courts are handling two types of cases.
Ma'muriy huquqbuzarlik ishlarini
Administrative offenses,
hamda ommaviy huquqiy munosabatdan ketishgan munosabat.
and also those issues of public significance.
Ommaviy deganda oddiy tilda aytganda davlat idoralari bilan fuqaro o'rtasidagi munosabatni ko'radi.
So they handle the cases between the individuals and government bodies.
Men sizga statistika aytishim mumkin.
We have now in 70% of those administrative cases where the citizens have litigated in administrative court against the public officials and their actions, in 70% their claims have been satisfied.
The tour, with its presentations at several administrative and civil courts, ended with a conference with the chairman of the Supreme Court of Uzbekistan, Mr. Kozimjon Komilov, in attendance. Here, recommendations for improving the relationship between Uzbekistan's courts and journalists, thereby building another channel to improve the public transparency of courts, was further discussed.
Press turga yurgandan xabarimiz bor.
For example, I know that in the countries, be it Netherlands or France or the United States, there are also restrictions on journalists in terms of accessing the courts and the trials.
In 2019, Uzbekistan was named The Economist magazine's Country of the Year as a result of the extensive ongoing reforms and work undertaken to protect the rights and interests of citizens. A significant part of this work has been the efforts made to ensure Uzbekistan citizens can have their needs and concerns heard, and to resolve the conflicts they face through legal means provided at courts. There is still some way to go in Uzbekistan to reach a place where citizens' needs are fully respected. Continued work between national authorities and their international partners, including UNDP and USAID, will bring Uzbekistan closer to this brighter future.